Yeah, good morning, everyone. Now, start about the yesterday you have seen about the what is ERP softwares and what are the different versions of SAP, what are the different types of ERP softwares are available. Now we will jump into the what is meant by SAP MM. What SAP MM will cover. So SAP MM is a functionality. MM nothing but materials management. Materials management is a function, is a part of SAP. SAP is a whole big ERP software. In that one part is a SAP MM. MM nothing but materials management. And it will be part of the logistics area. Logistics nothing but where we have handling the materials, moving of the materials. Those will be covered under the MM. And what its cover means, so it is a one of important module in SAP ERP software. So MM application will cover the procurement and inventory functions. Procurement and inventory functions. So what is meant by procurement and inventory functions means? So already yesterday I have discussed about the what are the different departments we have in the any organization. We have a procurement, production department, sales, HR, everything, right? So who will implement and who will work as a SAP MM consultant? We call as a consultant who are working in SAP ERP software. So those persons we call as a consultants. So as a consultant, our aim is to work or to implement or introduce your SAP ERP software solutions to the only a particular procurement department. Procurement and they have a store department. Store nothing but who are looking the warehouse activities. Once you purchase, then you have to keep the stock in a one godown. That godown who are handling that godown person we call as a store department. Okay, so in real time you have to deal with the organization of procurement and the store department. So what SAP MM will cover means you have to learn the how procurement process or a purchasing process happening and how inventory nothing but it is a store inventory activities. So then you have to learn the invoice verification. So you have to learn these three areas. One is the purchasing activity, inventory activity, purchasing nothing but procurement department, how they are handling. You have to map that information into the SAP ERP software as a SAP MM consultant. Okay. So this is the one it will cover. So invoice verification, nothing but I will tell you what exactly where you have to be learned. So what material management MM is consist of? So we have a master data and we have to learn the system configuration and we have to learn the transactional data to complete the process of procure to pay. What is this procure to pay meaning? I will explain. And you have to map the, so from where it will start demanding, where it will start the demand and how it will go in MM and how it will end by doing the invoice verification. So this process flow you have to be learned. So let me explain you the business cycle of SAP MM. So as I explained, what exactly, where exactly it's MM start and where exactly it will be end and what you have to be learn as a SAP MM consultant. See, before going to this one, let me tell you one point. So you are working for a Tata Motors or any car manufacturing industry or any industry like a textile, whatever the industry you are working for that. Okay. So ultimate aim is car manufacturing and do the market sale. So that is the my goal of that automotive company. So to manufacture a car, we require the raw materials. Raw materials means we require the whatever the components you have to be required for assembly a car or to make a one finished car. We require a components. Components nothing but a raw materials. So how this raw material requirement will start? So say example, production department, they want to just start a one car, new car. manufacturing. So take the one car example. So what they will do, they will create a demand. Demand nothing but to produce a one car. So what they required. So they will raise a demand that they require the like a 4 tires they required, and they required one engine, and they required some 1 ton of steel structure to make. So they required some light, everything, light, but so whatever the bolts, not they required. So these all components they required. So example, if you take the Tata Motors car manufacturer, they're not manufacturing tire, they're not manufacturing the engine, they're not manufacturing steel. Tata Motors is not manufacturing the steel, they're not manufacturing light, bolts, nothing. So what they has to do, they has to depend on the some other organizations. Say example, they want to tires, so they has to depend on the market who are the tire manufacturers like MRF, say Bridgestone. So Tata Motors company has to depending on the other companies who are manufacturing the tires. Same way engine, whoever manufacturing the engine, they have to depend on the other companies. So once these all are in place in the Tata Motors company, so then only production department can start the work to manufacture a car, right? So this is this life cycle. So what you have to do, you have to buy tires, you have to buy the engine, you have to buy the steel, you have to buy the bulb, all the after buying of all, you have to keep into the ready in the inventory. Then you can hand over to the production department, then they start their activities. So this is not an activity to buy the car, to buy and to maintain the stock and to produce the stock. So this is not a production department activity. So we have a different departments. Each and every individual department have a own responsibilities. They has to be involved and to complete their activity, then hand over to the other departments. Okay. So who will handle this purchasing activities means as a MM consultant, we have to be map how the procurement process, how this inventory management process, how you are going to be paid to the vendor. So that is cycle here. So demand nothing but as I explained, production department will create a one demand. That demand will be in a documentation form. That documentation we call as a purchase requisition. Purchase requisition nothing but production department will create a one document and indicating that so we are going to be manufacture one car. So to do that we require 4 tires, one engine, lights, bulb, bolts. So these are the components are going to be required and this is the quantities we require. So by when we require, so if you want to produce a car in the next 1 month, you should be available within 10 days. Okay. So say example, they will give you some requirement date. By that date, you have to be buy and keep the stock. So that information they will put in a one document. That document we call as a purchase requisition in SAP system. So they will create a purchase requisition. Who will create? Production department will create. So then they will hand over to the procurement department. Procurement department nothing but so who are looking the vendors in the market. Say example, they require the 4 tires. Who will give the best price for the tire? So they will contact for the MRF. They will give this quotation for MRF, Bridgestone, steel. So we have a different types of tire suppliers in market. So they will contact them, okay, and they will take the quotations that we call as a quotation. So what they will tell, MRF will give the some best price, one price. Seat vendor will provide with some price. So all they will quote the prices and they will give the delivery dates, whatever the specifications they require, all they will mention in that. So that we call as a quotation. That we call as a quotation. Let me write over here. So first it will start from the purchase requisition. So once purchase requisition is there, then as a procurement department, I will request all suppliers. I will request suppliers to submit their quotation. So that's called as a request quotation or request for quotation. So then once I request for quotation, so to whom I will send this? I will send to this to the vendors or a supplier. And purchase requisition, who is created this demand? This is just a kind of one demand. So who will create this? Production department, right? So then what vendor will send? So vendor will send their quotation. So what they will do? They will maintain the price, how much they are going to be give, and the delivery date, everything. Simple things are how you are buying a mobile. So you are searching different showrooms and you are searching in the online. So if we have a best price, then you are buying over there. Same if you take the organization, they can't directly go like that market and buy because this is organization. So organization, they have some policies. They have to follow the proper documentation and that should be recorded. And then proper communication document also, legal document also. As a owner, I am the owner, so I am directly go and buy the mobile anywhere. So like I am doing the inquiries in a oral, but here we have to proper in a document way. So if you have a proper documentation, so then only that will be valid. So once the quotations you receive, then what you will do? Say example, I have sent for the MRF, fertile MRF, seed vendor, then we have a Bridgestone. So all three vendors I have sent. So they will send the quotations. Then I will compare it. I will compare the quotation. In comparison, what I will do? After comparison, I will take the decision. So example, MRF supplier is sending it with the best price. So I will go with the MRF. So what I will do? I will select the vendor over here, vendor or supplier. So who is vendor here? MRF is because he is giving with the best price comparatively with the other. Right? So once it is done, what I will do? I will place a order. That order is called as a purchase order. Like imagine how you are placing a order, that called as a purchase order. Purchase order is a legal document between the vendor and to the customer. So what the purchase order is containing? So as per our agreement, agreement or a quotation, so which you sent on so on date, this is the material we required, or this many quantity we required, this is the price you agreed, please send that on this date. Okay. So once it is done, we will send this to vendor. So what MRF vendor also will do? So MRF vendor also is having the demand for the some 40 or whatever the quantities they have. So they have to start the production, tire manufacturing. Here Tata Motors is a customer to them. So what they will do? They will start the production. It will take time and they also buy the material. So this is the cycle, life cycle. Right? So once they are done the manufacturing and completed that quality test is completed, what they will do? They will send that material to the Tata Motors. So Tata Motors example, they are in the manufacturing plant in the Gujarat. They will send to the Gujarat plant. So once the material is reached to over there, okay, so they will do the Gujarat Tata Motors company people, they will do the goods receipt. Once goods receipt is done, so they has to do the quality check also. Quality check is important. Once quality check is done, everything is okay, then you have to be you have to do payment because you have to pay it for the MRF vendor because he sent the material. So for that, what we will do? First, vendor will send the invoice. So you have to verify that. You have to verify vendor invoice because wherever you are purchasing, say example, you purchase the mobile, you will take the bill. Then we will see the bill. Either that bill is exactly matching what I expected, what is the tax they are maintained, what is the price they are agreed, whatever the agreed price they are mentioned or not. So everything will be verified that. Once everything is okay, then we will do the payment to vendor. Like in Amazon, you will verify the, or if you are booking the ticket, you will verify the price structure. So this is the cost and this is the some cancellation charges and this is the insurance. So everything is okay. Then you will do the card payment or net banking, whatever the payment method we will use, and you will do the payment. So like same way here in organization also you will do same activity. Okay. So this is the MM life cycle. So where it will start? It will start from the purchase requisition. Okay. So that we call as a procurement, and where it will end? Payment. So that cycle we call as a procure to pay or P2P. Whatever the terminology is the same. So sometimes we call as a, you have a experience in the P2P or you have experience in the MM. So MM is deal with the procurement to pay cycle in the organization, or procure to pay also the same terminology. SAP MM is covered with the procure to pay. So procure to pay nothing but, so it will start with the purchase requisition. You have to select the vendor, you have to agree the quotation, then you have to do the purchase order, then goods receipt you can do, invoice verification, then you will pay to the vendor. So this is the life cycle it follows, MM. So as a MM consultant, you have to be learn. So how to create the purchase requisition, what are the required configuration or a master data so you required to create the purchase requisition, and how will you configure the purchase order, what are the information we required. So everything you should be learn. So then you have to be explained to the Tata Motors organization. If you are deployed, if Tata Motors is going to be implement the SAP software as a MM consultant, you have to be explained how to do this all activities in SAP system. So to explain to them, first you have to be learn how this is going to be in SAP system. Now we will see what are the course content we have and what are the different things we are going to be learn. So it is around the 2 months duration, and we have a fast track also. So who are already having the basic knowledge, like who are already working as the end users. So to them they want within 1 month or 40 days. Yeah, we will give you a training within the 14 days. So whatever the main concept they are looking, we will train those also. Ultimately, so we are going to be cover the what is S4 HANA functionalities we have, and we will see the comparison between the ECC system old version and to the new version like S4 HANA. So I will explain you that also. So then coming to the jump into the main structure, we have a organization structure. So this is the one part of configuration. So how you want to map that information in system. I will guide you that configuration. And we have a master data. So once the organization structure and master data you learn, then you can work on the purchasing documents. So like we have a PR, what I discussed, RFQ, purchase order, this all we call as a purchasing documents. So how to configure this, how to create this PR, RFQ, everything you will learn under the concept of purchasing documents. We will cover this. Then inventory management. So inventory management thing, nothing but once you receive the material, you are placing that in the store. That store activities. What are store activities? You have to do the receipt, you have to do the issues for the production, stock transfers. So we have a different categories to learn over here under inventory management. So you have to learn that. Then we have a logistics invoice verification. So once you all purchasing activities completed, you have to pay to the vendor. Before paying, you have to be verify that either all as per the PO, they are mentioned the rate or not. If anything is deviation, then you can escalate that to the vendor here. Once it is okay, then you will do the payment. So up to verification, we will cover under MM. So payment part, we will cover under the FI module. Okay, FI module will cover the payment process. Under the last invoice verification also, we have some other categories. If anything is mismatched, how to adjust that invoice in system. So that's all are going to be learned. And we have some special business scenarios where we have say example, we have a Tata Motors. They have a plants in the Gujarat and they have a plants in the Madhya Pradesh. So instead of the buying the material from the MRF vendor, they want to transfer the stock from the Madhya Pradesh to Gujarat or Gujarat to the Madhya Pradesh, because both are the under the Tata Motors, but it is located in the two different states. Okay, so that we call as a stock transfer. So that's we call as a stock transfer between the plants within the same company organization. So that call as stock transfer. How to do that in the system, we will explain that. And sometimes you don't have a facility to manufacturing something to paint work. We don't have a facility in the plant, so we have to depend on the some other vendors who will do the paint work. So that call as a subcontracting. We are giving the some part of work to the some other vendor. We are not buying, just we are asking for services for the paint work. That process is called a subcontracting process. So like that, we have a different special procurement scenarios like stock and non-stock procurement, service procurement. Service procurement, nothing but you are paying some labor charges. You have a organization, means you have a AC, lift, we have a network, internet, computers, laptops, everything we have. So anything get struck, anything you're going to require a service. So that's we all cover under the service procurement. And we have a subcontracting procurement process, consignment procurement, pipeline procurement, third-party procurement, stock transfer, returnable transport packaging, capital or asset procurement. So we have a different special procurement scenarios you have to be learned. Okay, so I will explain you what is the each special procurement scenario concept in detail later. And we have to learn some other business configurations, like we have a split evaluation, pricing pressure. Pricing pressure split nothing but whenever you are maintaining the price in the PO, so it is only a material cost. Say example, MRF is in somewhere in the Telangana plant, but Tata Motors in the Gujarat. So just by paying the material cost, they will transfer, they will send the stock from the Telangana to Gujarat. No, why? Because they are not directly transferred. They are booked the transport. So through transport by a truck or a by truck, that material will be sent to the Gujarat location. So they will ask for the transportation charges and loading charges, unloading charges. So not only basic material cost, we have a shipping charges, right? So those all how you are, what are the different pricing elements we have. So those all will cover under the pricing pressure. And we have a release pressure, version management, output determination, batch management, and we have some account determination as a part of inventory valuation. So this all we're going to be covered as a special business scenarios. Okay, and also we will cover the integration to other models. Like if you are strong in the MM, is not going to be sustained. So you have to be strong in the some other areas. Other areas means where it is integration is falling to MM. Why? Because SAP is a one type of a large ERP software. It is a major advantage of this is it is integrated to the different departments. So you have to be as MM consultant, you have to be explain what is the integration part we have with the other departments. Okay. So like if you take the FI, we have a payment to the vendor. And if you take the PP, we have a demand creation, how they are creating the demand. So that's you have to be understand. And if you have a SD, so we have a stock transfer concept, how it is going to be happen in system. So you have to be strong in the integration part. And we have some other models also. I didn't mention here, PM, PS, like that. We have other integration models. So we will cover all those things. And coming to the real-time scenarios, so once the course is completed, I'm going to be explain about the what is the different methodologies. Say example, you are deployed for the implementation project. So I will explain you different types of projects we have in SAP. We have implementation, support project, like that. So if implementation means they don't have any ERP software, so they want to implement one ERP software and they are choosing the SAP to introduce to them. So as a consultant, you know all about the SAP MM functionality. So whenever you deploy for implementation, so how the implementation project will start and end. So as a MM consultant, what is your roles and responsibilities to deliver a successful project? So that's I will explain you over the implementation methodology. Then I will touch base some technical, like as you know, SAP is running on the ABAP language. So sometimes, so if anything is not fit in the standard, as a functional consultant, you have to ask the ABAPer who are writing the code to amend or edit that code and or rewrite the code to execute your functionality or to success your functionality. So to them, you have, as a consultant, you have to explain what exactly that functionality. So what are the standard functionalities we have, how to view first standard functionalities. If it is not fitting, where you are asking to edit the code, so that all those things will be covered as a part of technical. And supporting support, if you assign to support project, how to resolve tickets and how to see the tickets, how to change the status, how to contact the client if any ticket you have. So all those things we are going to be explained. And I will explain you some technical specification, like it will cover as I explained, if it is not falling on the standard, how to for editing of the code, what are the documents you have to be prepared to technical team. that will cover under the functional specification documentation. So basically, it is not only just a course. So it will be a real time with a real time examples and the real time scenarios, and how exactly you will perform in the real time. So with that, we will explain. Okay. So then Fury apps. So as S4 HANA is a latest version of SAP software. So Fury is one of the advanced model, a digital platform from SAP to enter your day-to-day activities through a smartphone also. So how to access this, all those things will be explained. And we have some S4 HANA new concepts. So like flexible workflow, BRF plus, supplier evaluation, vendor rebate. All this are going to be covered in this training. Okay. So what will take care means, so this ultimately your job is our priority. So we will guide you how to get the job and what are the questions we'll put in interviews, how you will work as a real time. So that we will guide 100% over here only during the training. And this 100% training in the and S4 HANA system, and this will be with a practical example. I will give the real-time examples, how it will be. Okay. And I will give the some tasks also, and I will monitor the how you are practicing. Is there any confusion or you are unable to understand where you require the efforts? So we will monitor that, and we will give the task also. Okay. And we will 100% we will support you in resume preparation, project, what you want to put, how you want to put everything. Okay. So I am not committing we will give the 100% job. Just I am committing. So how you are to prepare for the job, and how you have to prepare for the resume, how you have to prepare your questionnaire. So all to face the interview, we will guide you 100% what exactly the market is looking for that. Okay. And ultimately, we are offering with a minimal course fee. So you can choose your. And we are offering the fast track. So where you can already, if you have a basic concept, you know about the SAP MM. So at speed, I will teach you. So you can learn within 40 days. That also we are facilitating. Okay. So finally, this course will be every day 1 hour, and 15 minutes will take for the question and answers. And we will monitor the yesterday's progress and how you are practicing within this 15 minutes. Okay.